Hey everybody, failed entrepreneur here. Crappy videos every day, so subscribe so you don't miss one, right? And Sunday morning here, just wanted to go over a couple quick things I saw on the news this morning when I woke up and drank my coffee. Great content. And just kind of my thoughts on how the news, I'm not going to say this is fake news, but I think a lot of times we use fake news when we should be saying clickbaity news. There's a lot of clickbait news out there, and they're very often closely related. But on the front page of Drudge this morning, front headline, all in red, like, oh no, this must be serious. New York Times, I guess, whatever. George Bush, Mitt Romney are not going to support Trump's reelection. How does he recover? Oh my goodness, this is terrible. Seriously? This is what's on the front page with all this stuff going on right now? Romney ain't voting for Trump no matter, even if hell froze over. Romney ain't doing that, so no surprise there. And I don't think George Bush voted for him in the first place anyways. I think that was at the time, maybe kind of a story that an ex-Republican president wasn't voting for the current Republican candidate. But I don't know why this is front page on the Drudge Report. I don't know why this is like in red, like it's, breaking news or emergency. Maybe it's a slow riot day. Maybe Corona's slow as well. I don't know. But, clickbaity, right? Like, oh my gosh, what's the, huh? But I mean, it's a nothing. Romney, like I said, is always opposing Trump no matter what he does. That's kind of his niche now, I guess. That's what Romney does, so whatever. And then, like I said, George Bush, I don't think voted for Trump anyways. So it's just, like I said, there's really nothing else to say. It's kind of old news, but I don't know why it's there in the first place. Another thing, just kind of funny, I guess. Another thing that has been going around is there's a story that there's a tension. Tensions are breaking point between Trump and the Pentagon or Trump in the military regarding these riots. I don't know if this is clickbaity so much, but if you actually read the article, let me back up a bit. So obviously Trump has threatened to bring the military in, which I don't think he has yet, to try and calm these riots down. The governors of these states where there's been a lot of looting and rioting, like New York has been really bad. St. Louis was bad for a while. Minneapolis, of course. LA, it took, there's a bunch of cities. Again, it's Trump is getting a lot of heat for this, but again, it's most of that should be at the governors who have let it get to this point, who have been, after a week and a half, unable to bring any calm to the city. What good are you, I guess, if you can't even protect your own citizens, if you can't protect law and order, if you can't protect, again, the people? That's the whole reason the government exists. Government is basically just a form of police. And if you can't, again, protect the people and their rights, what good is that government in place? I'll be very curious, maybe more so than the actual election coming up, to see what happens in these states and how the people there vote. The people in charge right now, are they going to keep those jobs? Are they going to boot them out? It'll be another wrinkle to this election to see what happens here. And I have no idea. I don't live in those states. I've been to California. I haven't been to any of the others, so I really don't know what goes on there. And I'm not going to speculate on something that I have no experience with. But I would be interested to see what happens. But back to the military here. Of course, there's friction. I would hope so. If you're trying to send the military in, that's kind of a big deal, and not maybe something to be taken lightly, especially given circumstances. This isn't send the military in to go help with natural disaster relief or something like that. This is a real dicey, explosive situation, and we don't want like a Kent State thing coming back where you got the military having to gun down American citizens. Well, can't say they didn't have to, but it happened, right? It was a bad situation. Or Tiananmen Square rolling tanks in, that would be incredibly damaging. So of course there's talk over this in the article that talks about this. Says second paragraph, well, actually this is kind of common and it's happened before in Trump's presidency, but like clickbaity stuff, you read it, you're like, oh my gosh, there's like a coup, or is there a mutiny going on here? I don't think that's the case. But again, I would hope we're not rubber stamping, just sending troops in, and it is a big deal. It's not historically unprecedented. Actually, in the past, the military has been sent in many times to try and bring a sense of calm when social disruptions get too large, I guess. Like the LA riots, they were brought in. I don't remember, but I was pretty little at the time, if there was any mutinous talk or something like that when 92 George Bush, that was the first George Bush, right, was in office. Clinton wasn't there yet, I think, or was that right? Bad, that was Bush, I believe, first George Bush. Or maybe no, it would have been first George Bush. Let's go look that up. Any more coffee? But yeah, they were brought in there. I don't really remember it was a big deal. I don't think it was. A lot of times during the Civil Rights era, troops were brought in quite often. Lyndon Johnson, Kennedy a few times as well. Eisenhower a bit, I think, to help integrate schools. But then also when you had some rioting break out, like after MLK's assassination and some others, they are brought in to restore order as well. And I don't think there was any talk of mutiny back then, or that the president, Kennedy or Johnson, has lost control of the military. I don't think so, but that was a long time ago. But it happens. This, sending the military in is not the end of the world. But it's a serious kind of escalation. It's really the last thing that you can do as a government to try and bring peace back, I guess, to the streets. That would be more worrying, is that if you would bring the military in and they're ineffective in stopping this. Granted, their hands are severely tied, as they should be. We don't want, again, we don't want anything like Tiananmen Square or Kent or whatever. So it's a tough situation, and it's a situation that the military really, it's not their job, unless you're military police. We ask a lot of men and women in the service, but asking to go and basically play police officer is not what they're trained for. So that's a dangerous situation as well. Putting them in a situation that they're just really not ready, trained. I don't want to say the same word twice, but trained for. That could be recipe for disaster. The military doesn't want to get a bad rap from this, which I understand. They don't want to be seen as like jackbooted thugs or tyrants or whatever like that. So I get that as well. So I would hope, like I said, there's some real talk and debate, and it seems like the debate might be ongoing. I can't talk today because we haven't seen the military deployed yet. Hopefully we don't need to, is maybe these things become more peaceful and wind down, and they would be very wise to do so, as no one can really listen to you when you're screaming and yelling and having a tantrum. But wait, Black Lives Matter isn't causing the riots, and I get that. But when someone, again, same thing, right? If you're trying to have a conversation or you're trying to pose questions, no one hears anything you say because there's someone else right next to you screaming, yelling, throwing a tantrum. And this is why from the very beginning I was just against these riots is unproductive, 2 steps back. It's whatever momentum or whatever consensus that the movement had at the beginning again is badly damaged. I don't know ever to come back the way it was. It's self-defeating. And again, if I'm not saying that you caused it, But I saw a lot of people excusing it, or a lot of people making apologies for it happening, or apologies for why it should be there in the first place. Anyway, you're not helping yourself, and now maybe if things are calming down, which they kind of seem to be, then you can actually have some real meaningful protests and really try and get something accomplished. But again, when you're kicking and screaming and ranting, ain't anyone going to listen to you. People just didn't seem to listen or care at the time. Hopefully we're wising up. Hopefully we've made it through this current crisis. Like I said, the military hasn't been deployed. Not a big deal that there's friction or talks about it. That is kind of common, and I would hope so. But again, just clickbaity. They want your attention just like everybody else these days. That's where the money is. That's how they get paid. And so, sharing the news without a spin or without a hook or an angle, that's just bad marketing. That's bad advertising. So I can't blame them for it, but I'll also call them out for it when they do it as well. So yeah, anyway, Romney, Bush not voting for Trump, who cares? Who didn't see that coming? And the military and Trump debating over sending in the troops. Again, who didn't see that coming? That's kind of a non-story there. But we'll see what happens. Now, had Trump ordered them in and they say no, that could be a serious situation. But I don't, from what I've read, I don't think that's where we're at. I just think they're having some real conversations on what's expected, what this will look like. And anyway, conversations they should be having in the first place. Adult conversations. So, all right, that's it for today. I should make it Sunday, Rambling Sunday. That should be a theme. But I got stuff to do. I know you do too. Thanks for watching, made it this far, and have a good day. Catch you later.